before being wrangled by police. The Harris County Precinct 4 Constable's office said a deputy responded to the Target store on Cypresswood Drive in Spring on a report of 2 goats loose inside the store. The deputy was able to wrangle the goats and turn them over to Harris County Animal Livestock. The origin of the goats was still unclear. Get out, goat, get out! This wraps up the lunchtime edition of news as produced by Triple N for
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any topical issue, any issue trending. But most important, you can interrupt us at any time and come up with your own subject matter. We take calls, and we don't like rules, but we encourage people to be respectful and tolerant. The democratic system calls for us to be able to discuss issues. A lot of issues, if you sit down and discuss it and give it a second thought, sometimes you have to sleep on it. You're surprised to know we can come up with solutions to address our problems. We're on RealFM 91.9. We're on Facebook and YouTube. We always encourage you to share our program and like our program and subscribe to RealFM, the most successful radio station outside of St. George's. And it has been going on for the last 18 years. So we encourage you to spread the word and subscribe to RealFM. Today is a very important day. Like all other days, you have some form of celebration, some issues coming up. But today is the 13th of February. And the 14th of February is Valentine's Day. So it's a good thing to talk about love today. Love. Amidst all what is going on, it is very important for people to learn to love. What is love? I don't know if parents sit down and discuss with the children what is love. Because all of us use this word with great liberty. What is love? You have a lot of definition for love. I too will advance some of them. They say an intense feeling of deep affection. An intense feeling of deep affection. And I know by the time I made that statement, a lot of men fall in love. Sometimes one glance at a woman and you fall in love long time. Because it is an intense feeling of deep affection. But it's also the feeling a mother feels when she have a baby in her arms. The parent feeling for the mother. A profound, tender, passionate affection for another person. Profound, tender, passionate affection for another person. A woman could have it for a man could have it for a woman, people could have it for one another. A feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection for your parent, your child, or a friend. Or we could say a strong feeling of constant affection for a person. We might say all these things. You hear men, well, I guess we say it more for men. Women might have it in their mind more, but the men say it more. People say, I love you as a pig love the mud. A little child praying to God. One day, she tell God she love him as how she father like ripe fig. Because she noticed the fathers want to eat a whole bunch of ripe fig. So she's praying, She say, God, I love you as how my father like ripe fig. And that is good. Because sometimes we have to practicalize things. Some psychologists would describe this as intimate passion and commitment. They put it in 3 different categories: intimacy, passion, and commitment. And particularly in relationship, if you want the relationship to last, you must have at least 2 of them. If you have one, it may not survive. Intimacy and commitment. Passion and commitment. But I have heard some sophisticated definition for love in the rum shop. A fella say it's a symbiotic relationship between 2 human beings. Both of them must benefit. But since we are a Christian society, the majority of Grenadians are Christians. When we say we are Christian, it doesn't mean you're going to heaven or you're going to hell. It means that we generally follow the teaching of Christ. And it doesn't mean you're perfect. Because all of us fall short of the glory of God. But this one, I want to read it. Because it's from Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 to 8. He said, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy. It is not arrogant and rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable and resentful. And it does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but it rejoices with the truth. This one is the Christian version of love. Where man and woman is concerned, where spouse, where relationship is concerned, perhaps they should sit down when they're courting and discuss this issue. When the man say love the woman, sometimes the woman eating she fingernail, pulling out peas, doing all kind of thing. Perhaps it would be better for her to negotiate it, to see the depth of his love. Say, love is patient and kind. Patience. The woman looking on the road, she nice as guava. She like a sapodilla that ripe in the shade. Patience. Sometimes the least the man have is patience. But love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. He's not arrogant or rude. And he does not insist on his own way. It's not my way or the highway. It is not irritable or resentful. And it does not rejoice in wrongdoing. When you have discussion with men, sometimes they say the woman disagreeable. She giving trouble. She annoying. These are somebody language. And if she not in a good mood, no food. She resentful. She's seeking vengeance. So maybe in our society, We have not paid enough attention to love. We have used it so liberally that it become a joke. Bearing in mind, in relationship, man is basically a hunter. A lot of women have to understand that. A man is expected in all society to hunt, to go after the woman, to make the first move. In some societies, particularly in Asian cultures, people select the maid for the man. They select the woman. I want this girl to be your wife. And the boy say he don't like her. The mother say, don't worry, you go fall in love with her. So men enter into relationship. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah. For me, love is sense and sense is love.
Love is sense and sense is love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two of them go together.
Okay.
All right.
So that's another version. Love is sense and sense is love. So people, I believe we have not done justice to ourselves and our culture and our children. Maybe if we spend more time educating our people what is love, our children, they might have a better appreciation for living and working together. In a lot of instances, when we speak of love, we bring it down to the man and the woman. But you have love, they say eros, philia, storage, and agape. Agape is love of mankind. And storage love is a love that a parent have for the child. Serious love, you know. Sometimes the boy or the girl is behaving so badly, causing an embarrassment to the parents. But the mother have a kind of love for her child that nobody would not understand. And it's difficult to understand that because she carried that child in her, inside her, in her womb for maybe about 9 months. Some children given so much trouble, you believe they stay 12 months inside their mother. And the feelings, the rhythm, every movement, remember, she feed that child from her. And if the mother is weak and she don't have enough food to feed the child, she take from her body. So she will take the calcium from her body to give the child calcium. She'll eat her fingernails to get calcium to give the child. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
How are everything? How
Great,
was the
man.
weekend? Yeah, Mr. Pierre, no, you're in topic of love. All right? And I see love is a word that, and not a attacking word, but a word that is an action word. A word that, when manifest, it could bring development to a family. All right? Because sometimes many people, they good at speaking love. But Mr. Pierre, when to demonstrate it, it is difficult to demonstrate it. Because, sometimes, Mr. Pierre, you have in a relationship, and you say to the lady, I love you. I will do that for you. Yes, it's good and important to speak about it and tell someone that you love them. But what is key and what in a relationship people want to see is the demonstration of love. Right? A demonstration of love, not something that you speak alone. Because speaking love is not love, but it's an action word, and I want to see love in manifestation. I'm saying, when you love someone, you want to see that the person life better, and not only want to see your life better and trying to destroy our next one life. And when someone loves someone, they will never try to rob from someone. They will never try to destroy someone by saying things about they know what is saying about the person. It's not the truth. Because what the word of God said, for the thief come but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Right? Like Satan was pretending to love, but he don't love. Love is not a word that you pretend. love is real, and love is true, and love is honest. And then we have to put that love into action, in not attacking. And when we say we love one, whatsoever things, anything that happen to someone that could bring shame upon them, we should not laugh at that. We should not rejoice at it. We should sympathize. We sympathize with someone because we don't know what could happen. What happened to our neighbor could happen to 2 days, 3 days with us. So then we have to sympathize and we have to show care, tender, and love to one another. Yes, we might hate them. We might hate them, but we have to love. Because what God said in His word, I hate the sinner committed. What I love, He still loves the sinner. Right? And sometimes we don't say to our children, when you do something wrong, I hate you. Right? But we don't mean it. So we have still to be very careful. We have to say to our children or our neighbor children, when they do something, say, young man, young girl, I don't hate you, but I love, but I hate the things that you do, that you did. So then that is how we have to speak. And see then when we he says somebody saying, but I don't like a person, and I hate a person, and because you and the person is for himself here, I'm going to just end up turn around and hate the person. And somebody hating and hating people himself here, you could always end up hating yourself. Hating yourself. You can understand that a man doing something for himself here. Or because that man getting a job, or because somebody tell I hate a person, you turn against a person. And the person that encouraged you to hate a person, that person was not telling the truth to you. And that person turned and hate that person that was giving the one that was giving that job. But because someone close to you tells something about that person, you turn and hate them. And what happens? You end up turning around and hate them, and you also hate a lot last your job because what someone tells you, say to you. So, Mr. Pierre, have a blessing.
Yes, scholar, thank you. And I think perhaps more discussion must take place, particularly in families. That's where they start. To sit down and discuss what is love and how we practicalize love. What is it? What is love from the man to the woman? What is love from the woman to the man? What the man expect from the woman? What the woman expect from the man? How does a man show love? Do you have to show love? What do your children expect from love? Do they expect you to bring sweets and corncobs and snack? And they consider that as love? What is expected? How do you love your neighbor? Because you have erotic. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. P.
Yes, my caller.
Some of us in this Grenada here now, two-tone. We don't understand. I don't know what we like or what we want to see go on in our country, or if we need good things in our country. On yesterday on a program, some man calling and saying, what going on with a marketing board, the previous government who caused that to going on? Well, why is that we thinking? Huh? How is the previous government that causing marketing board to close down now? I want to know. That is what we do. And on the preaching, who they want in party, they don't want Dr. Mitchell, who they want in party. I want to know what, if Dr. Mitchell don't come here to clean up campaign and put the house in order, how the house go be in order? Amen.
Yes, scholar. Two powerful points that I would not let pass. The government has come with a strategy to address the issue of marketing board, and I don't agree with the government at all. The government doesn't seem to know what they want to do. You don't have to close down marketing board to reform marketing board. You don't close down the St. George's University to reform it. You don't have to close down an entity like marketing board. One of the objectives of marketing board was to help the farmers get market. That's one of the objectives. And marketing board has been doing that, but they're not doing it satisfactory. A new government come in. They did not try. They did not make any attempt. They come with a preconceived position to get rid of marketing board. There is over 100 workers involved. Over 100 workers involved. And agriculture is subsidized all over the world. If New Zealand could have sold snow as an agricultural product, they would have subsidized it. So the government is wrong. The government is not right. I would consider it practically reckless to close down marketing board. The government will be putting over 100 workers on the job line. In addition to that, the government has not said the farmers who've been selling to marketing board, what provisions are being made for them to continue to sell the product. Based upon what I'm hearing, the government intends to let a 6 months period lapse before they rediscover, reimagine, or reinvent marketing board. Would you suspend these farmers for that period of time? It is not necessary to close down marketing board. You could scale down marketing board. You could change the management of marketing board. But you don't have to close down market. I believe the Ministry of Finance is not led by a good minister. I believe the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister, should fire the Minister of Finance and bring somebody else in finance. He has been making too much a rudimentary mistake that is contributing to serious economic loss. You said you're going to have consultation. And I said the day the consultation is a sham. It is a fake. It is not genuine. And after the consult, how many? You promise to consult more, but you come with the same position to close down marketing board. You don't have to close down marketing board. You could reform marketing board on the go. Supermarkets don't close down to change. Business don't have to close down to change. So I think the government has a bigger plan. You see, marketing board, the sauce-up industry might be tied up tighter than people believe. There is an exporter that controls the majority of space on the plane. And that exporter wants to dominate the sauce-up industry. Right now it contributes more than 10 million US this economy, I think. I'm using a figure, about 10 million US. But we cannot supply the US market. We don't have enough sauce up here. So I believe this exporter wants the control marketing board or whatever version or offspring that the government rename this entity on. The local exporters in Grenada would have to disappear. So the government has fired the pest management unit, the arm that is addressing pests and managing sauce-up. So you would have more disease in sauce-up. And because he controls the space on the plane, then they may give him control of pest management for sauce-up. And the local exporters, you see, they're sleeping. They're like ostrich. They put their head in the sun and they expose the bam. So by the time they wake up, they would lose their foothold in the sauce-up market. And one person is going to control the export of fresh fruits and vegetables from Grenada. And the price of sauce-up is going to drop. And also fish. Somehow or the other, this government is not seeking the interests of the ordinary rustics. We have a lot of people that in that category. They don't believe they're in that category. They believe them is done. So they blindly supporting the government on that. The government have absolutely no justification to close down marketing board. None. You could reform marketing board without shutting it down. One of the objectives of marketing board is to help the farmers with market, and they have been doing that. They have not been doing a good job in managing their finances. But the government has not been doing a good job too. I would like to call for the Minister of Finance to be removed. Try another minister. But today is a good day. Today, I resort to talking about love. Love is an important thing. And we must have more discussion on love. How to practicalize love. I happened to be in an audience many years ago. I think it was a man of the cloth. There was about 40-something person in that grouping. And he decided to ask everyone, how do you practice love? I was amazed and shocked with the answers that come. I believe we must have discussion in our homes to understand love, even among men and women. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And that is one people is like an outward sign. Show love. Make it, practicalize it. But in real life, we need more discussion on this issue. A man needs to love his woman as he loves himself. A man needs to love his woman as he loves himself. But a woman don't must love she man. She needs to respect him. Once she could tolerate the man, she could start the relationship. Maybe she may grow to love him. But a man have to love his woman as he loves him. But the woman don't have to love the man. The woman have to respect the man. Because of so many factors in our complicated society today, sometimes it's very difficult for women to respect men. And then a man more practice an intense feeling of deep affection sometime. So some days the man really love his wife or his spouse or his woman. You see, they say 3 factors must be involved: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Passion alone can work. Intimacy alone can work. Commitment is a very important factor. Because that is, some men could have an intense, passionate relationship with a woman, and if you ask him her name 2 days after, he don't remember. And he may pass her in the street and even don't recognize her. These are, we can be a naive people. We must be able to sit down and discuss these issues. You know, you have a lot of relationships that come to naught. And if you have a discussion with the individuals, you would recognize that they never understand how to practicalize love. How to practicalize love. What I mean by love? Maybe there was just an intense feeling, an infectious feeling for passion and intimacy. But there was no commitment involved in it. I think this one you call eros, erotic, passionate love. That is the quickest one to light. And that's why it's so easy for a man to have multiple partners. Because a man is a hunter. And he'll exhibit patience They say love must be patient. And he will go to the dictionary. If he had to write, he would use the most expressive and romantic language to woo his prey. Some might say his wife, but if he's a hunter, it's prey looking for. He will set trap. There is no depth he will not go in his pocket. And if it's necessary for him to twist and disfigure and sex up the truth, he will also do that. Because his first issue is to get that woman. And then some people would say, a woman's like a wild boy that you go in the forest to hunt for. And after you have expended time and energy and money and patience and skills, then you must put her in a cage and open the door. And if she fly out and didn't come back, don't bother. And some of our alpha males, they function like that. That is why they might have about 20 women. They say she fly out of the cage. It don't make sense going back behind her again. So I believe we are doing ourselves injustice. And we're doing our children injustice by not sitting down and having the discussion. The love a woman would have for her children must be different from a man's love. The man may try, but he might give up quicker. Because that woman bore that child. And I always say for the first 12 years of a child's life, the mother plays the most important part. The first 12 years. And the mother there represents woman. Because sometimes there are instances where the mother died in child, but the mother died, but the child, and she might have gone up with other parents. Some other woman might have intervened. They say when mommy moui, family fini. Because in our culture, they believe the mother holds the relationship together. Not in only our culture, in the Jewish, a lot of Asian cultures. The woman is the strongest magnet of glue in the family. Because of our society now, the penetration of different society, and the independence of women, a lot of women have abandoned the role of the woman. They want to turn man. They're equal. So nobody holds the family together. But the woman's love is not an easy love. No man could love you as how a woman could love you, unless he's a domesticated male. But if you have a good alpha male, the woman is the one who holds the family together. So they say when mommy moui, family fini. And they say when man dead, grass grow in his yard. Sometimes, yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, how that you only calling me name on the radio? Don't say that I don't call in your program.
Well, I'm very glad you called because you know I highly appreciate you when you call. So,
yeah, but
yes.
sometimes this kind of bashing and even though like, and the Cocoa Board didn't tell me to do what I'm doing there, you know.
I wasn't bashing you, I was complimenting you.
No, I did not say you bashing me. Other people are trying to, and to take off me sometimes. In any case, they'll be buying white cocoa on the 21st and the 22nd.
The 21st and the 22nd?
Yeah.
Of this, okay. So you see how
that next week, eh?
Right, so you see how it's important for you to call me program. When I hear you, and you don't tell me when they're buying cocoa, sometimes it's quite in the rum shop others go. The woman says she glad when I come in the rum shop because they spend money as if I giddy. So they just have to go. So I got when you call me. You know.
Yeah, they're buying on the 21st and the 22nd, yeah?
Thank you, culture.
Because can you remember that it had a time that was last year when I think was on the last buying, I think was the Wednesday, but I did not show it out like the Monday or Tuesday. Okay. And can you remember, you told me in Carrier to take off because you heard that they was buying cocoa and you and I go and pick a few buckets of cocoa, eh?
Yes, I tell you, use.
Okay,
so I said, since culture abandoned me, I can't even finish pick me cocoa.
No.
Yeah. I don't want you to abandon me, man.
No,
because that is love, you know.
Yeah.
You know that is love. That is love for friendship and friends and family and people in the same group.
Yeah.
And we come from the same slave ship.
I know.
And both of us went on the college on the hill.
Oh, so I don't supposed to do what I have to do, but it's my good mind, so I'm informing the cocoa farmers them early on the 21st and 22nd.
And that is love.
Yeah.
We call it filial love. Thank you very much. And that is love.
Yeah.
Yes.
You later inside base.
Thank you. The brother don't have to do that. The Cocoa Association have a chat. And they have a few people on I mustn't say a few. There are special people on the chat. And they would not make publicly through radio. They have the system. They write it on a board in chalk. So if you is a full-time farmer, no problem. You could work with that. You keep in tab. But if you is a part-time, occasional farmer, you could miss out. And because they buy for 3 days in a week, and a lot of farmers don't have this permanent staff, because since banana come out from the equation, a lot of farmers have part-time workers. So sometimes when you're looking for workers, you can't get. Because you only know when they're buying cocoa when you see them passing. So if you have different pieces of land, like a lot of farmers have in Grenada, in some areas you never finish picking. In addition to that, the Cocoa Association have two main buying points where cocoa is also processed. And they buy cocoa there the same day. And then you have to go and sell cocoa in the outer stations. And then Cocoa Association pay money to bring it back. How are you going to reform this organization? By closing it down? It is the same attitude marketing board have. You don't have to close it down to fix it. So I believe the time has come for us to have a new Minister of Finance. I'm going to advance other reasons more, a lot of them. But the marketing board behavior and the Minister of Finance behavior is almost one and the same. And because we don't have any journalists that take interest in the commodity or agriculture in Grenada, this thing is permitted to go on for decades. The Cocoa Association, the Nutmeg Association, and the National Democratic Congress, they have the same philosophy. That is why they could sell marketing board. They abandoned the fact that you have 100 workers to be affected. In addition to the over 1,000 workers, over 1,000 workers, fired by this government since they come into power, they have now added to it. Over 100 workers from marketing board will be going home. Remember what the government said they'll do with the Imani. They'll make them permanent. Now they claim that all those 35 and over have to go home. 3,000 workers or people who are having money, workers in a social employment scheme. They are worried. They don't know what will happen to them. Because this government, under this Minister of Finance, is very abusive to the people in the lower income group. He's very insensitive. He abandoned the fact that marketing board have 100 workers. And there are some farmers who have not bothered about market for years. They would be struggling now to find market. There is absolutely no need to close down marketing board. The government would be wrecking a lot of the people loans in the bank. The financial institution would have believed that if you're working with marketing board, there's some level of permanency. So the bank would turn their backs on these people. And then later on, the consequences of it will be people losing their homes, people losing their land, and men jumping on the boat for Trinidad. When you hear you emasculate a male in this growing independent society for women, the man can have no money to go home. He had a drink rum. I make for Trinidad. I see if he get a woman in the next parish. The National Democratic Congress, in this dispensation, is going to destroy this economy to an irreparable level. I believe the time has come for the Minister of Finance to give us a Valentine present and remove himself from finance. He is incapable. He doesn't seem to be taking advice. And he must start to destroy the morals in the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance was highly motivated and performing well. That's why he met a pregnant treasury. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon. 2008 and 2013, NDC have a track record. They lost their house, they lost their land, they lost their car, they lost their job, they lost their truck. Chuck the pack up all by the customs on there. And the people used to play football. They could have played football inside the customs. No boat coming. So I don't know why these people had to go back and vote for NDC when NDC have a track record. They like lies. Dr. Kid government is telling them the truth. But they like lies. They believe in lies and propaganda. So that good for them. Grenadians, they don't learn in. Let them take it in their behind, take it in their kufwe.
You see, caller, Mr. Ecstasy, the young man shaking out the truth on him. Mr. Nico heave a rum in his mouth. He said, tied back on him. He must not leave here without the truth. So the NNP have some guilt on them too. They didn't tie back the truth on the people. They had to explain the truth. People ignore it, you have to tie it back. And that's why in my program, I encourage people to deal with the truth. If he burn you, he burn you. If you say something, somebody challenge you, go home, look in the mirror, present it to the mirror, and watch and see if you're blinking. If you're blinking, then you're lying. The truth is simple. The truth is easy. When you speak the truth, a 6-year-old child must understand. So what is happening now? I think the best option is for the Minister of Finance to remove himself from finance and put somebody else in that job. A lot of injustice is done to finance. Within 1 year, when I go back in history, that is the first time we have had so much of financial woes as a result of bad decision made in the first year of any government operation. And the decent thing to do is to remove the Minister of Finance from finance It's not the first time Minister of Finance had to run from finance in Grenada. So I think that's the best option. That would be a Valentine present for this country, and it may revive hope for the National Democratic Congress. Even the Minister of Labor and Legal Affairs might be well pleased, because she is worried that if we continue on that trajectory, we're going to have serious or even irreparable damage will be done to the economy. But it's important for us to sit down and discuss with the children love. Obviously, the Minister of Finance doesn't seem to even understand love. He doesn't know that you cannot disadvantage the elderly. When you raise the price of sugar in a country, you raise the price of water, you raise the price of electricity, you give a tax break to taxpayers, you pay pensioners more money than you ought to have paid them because you was concentrating on taking away $150 from elderly and physically challenged people. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello.
You have to...
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yes, man. Well, the Prime Minister knows figures, but he does not know statistics. I heard him made a statement. They asked people to apply for this grant, loan, whatever, grant. And when they get up to 6,000 applications, he came on the radio and said they was catering for 330 persons. But at the moment, they pay 481 and have 6,000 applicants. That is a lie. Because if you're asking people to apply, that's the first thing you should say. Your target is 330. You did not do that. When you get up to 6,000 now, you come in and you pay 481. But your target was 330. You had all these fellas and them and put a head in
Maybe you have to pray for them and counsel them. Don't put the head nowhere. The head is that's what the brain is. If you bury the head, you will just expose the rear end and you're going to make the economy irreparable. Yes, man. I see a post from the Facebook. Ann Jackson. She says, sorry to say, Grenadian men don't understand what is love. It means sex to them. Yes, because you see, well, you could have a point. Because the man is a hunter. Always remember that. Man is a hunter. The man is expected to make the first move. Sometimes women say this man and them cold like England. The man see the girl, he tend to have respect for her. He finds he not certain whether she big or she do big. So sometimes the woman have to understand. The man wants you. The man wants to procreate. And to procreate, you must have sex. Or you must transfer the sperm where it's supposed to go. So a woman must have that in her mind. When a man see you, one of the things he wants is sex. He wants to procreate. He wants to make more. He is mature. After you pass the stage of puberty. And women come into puberty faster than men. At an earlier age. When women reach that stage, they're in front of the mirror. They're watching the anatomical makeup and the projections. They're looking at the pubic hairs. They're modeling. They're putting on lipstick. The man, when a man reaches, he going to eat food. He wants food. Immediately the man wants food. Sometimes even in the home, the parents don't understand that the men gone by the road and they're cooking food. They want food. They want more energy. They're preparing for procreation. So it's Mother Nature saying we have to make more. So when a man come to you, he want to have sex because he want to make more. The man that is the hunter. So you have to prepare to understand that. And that is where love is patient and kind. Love does not envy and boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on having its own way. In yesteryear, the man had to cut a wood knot. And he had to wait. The parents encourage him to wait for, get to know her. And when they put you in the veranda to speak to her, they're watching you. They don't want you scrambler. They don't want you ravish and plunder. But today, we have a society. The women forget half of the clothes home. And they're gone in town. And here you find a man full of energy that want to have sex. Because he want to make more. Even if he say he don't want to make more, Mother Nature is jumping up in the body. You like yourself, you must make more like you. Look at the orange tree. Just before he die, he bears plenty. If you have a mango tree that doesn't, or any tree, and the farmer finds the tree is not bearing, what does the farmer do? The farmer threatens to kill the tree. So he pruned the tree out of the moon. He burned in the stool. And he rammed some 10-penny nail in the tree. Some farmers just cut up the tree. And they trim the tree heavy. And the tree will bear. They threaten to kill the tree. So we have this natural survival instinct in us to make more. A man is a giver. The woman receives. The man is a giver. And the man is a hunter. A man go to hunt a bird. He'll creep in the woods and wait for hours for the bird. He'll mimic the bird's song. And he wait till he's going to shoot the bird. Or he set a trap for the bird. There is no depth a man wouldn't go. He'll give you money. He'll even promise you money that he don't even have. It's a law. It's like the law Dick Mitchell used to win election. He used a law. He promised permanency and back pay for everybody. That's a law. The man used a law to. They set a trap. Sometimes they bring a bird in the shape of whatever they're going after. So we have to understand that. You can be naive. You're looking good. You leave half your clothes home. And you go down the road. And you have the man have an intense feeling and deep affection for you. You don't have to know your name. Sometimes you don't even want to see your face. If you look like a Volkswagen, that is enough. We have to understand that. And we have to have discussion in our homes. How to separate this commitment, the commitment. Because we have a stage where you ask young people to make decision, permanent decision. The girl is 16 years old. She looking good and nice. She pretty like Gov. And every man in the village sends she pheromones. And every man in love. Even the man that don't have no teeth in his mouth. And what used to be his sex appeal is now his water spout. He still say love. So we have to hold discussion. We can't walk in this thing naive. Even the men that are homosexuals, they still want women. So a lot of time, we're too naive about society. We must be able to speak the truth and discuss the issue. The wounds that we have, because of our experience, we must be able to use it to help our children not to have the said wounds. Tomorrow is Valentine. Are we showing love? Are we practicalizing love? Do we care about the elders in the society? Are we required to love the elders? Are we required to love parents? The children we have, is it gimme children? Are they required to love their children? Are the brothers and sisters required to take one another? When you have a family member that is a vagrant on the road, and they see you coming, they must feel good. Because that is my brother coming. You give me a piece of cake, or $1, or a kerchief, or a bath towel, or a shoe. You have them in your house wasting. But your brother is a vagrant. You say he wicked too much, You don't give him anything. Look at the kind of language, the kind of despicable language and the aspersion we cast in are the less fortunate in our country. We say they're lazy, they're wicked. Why they don't go and work? Only handout they want. What they have to build toilet for them for? What they do in their young age with their money? These expressions not supposed to come from the mouth of a people in love. Why we have all these homes in this country? And it's likely to have more. Because based upon this present government policy, say ye. They are chastising the unfortunate, the marginalized for being marginalized. I don't even know if what I said it. I'm going to tie up myself. The government policy seems to be blaming the marginalized people in the society because they are less fortunate. So the children that don't succeed in school, what we say? We say they don't, they get in trouble. The neighbor tell the woman, oh God, Mary, you can't make blood out of stone. And the mother say, oh God, it's my son, it's my son. The neighbor want to give up because the boy given trouble. They say you cannot make blood out of stone. Jesus commanded the mountain to move and the mountain moved. But we here who are Christians abandoning our own children and we say we cannot make blood out of stone. The woman crying to the boy. She says she's pregnant for him. He tell her when the child born, you go watch and see if it's his. Now to intervene and say the best time to mind the child is while the girl pregnant. If you don't mind the child and she has so much psychological problem and she don't have money to buy multivitamin and warm medicine, she go eat dust and cliff and she might make a deformed child and then the child is yours. But if you mind the child and it's not yours, she might make the next one for you. Or she might always remember how good you were. So we have to hold this discussion with our children and young people. We are more educated academically? No. We have more information, but yet we have less love. We have more churches, but yet we have less love. The churches are next door. People used to walk miles to go to church. The church is next door, but yet the church is empty. We have bigger homes, bigger houses. We have microwave. We have stove, we have hot plate, but yet nobody want to cook. So maybe this discussion have to take place among us. So we understand what is love. One man said love is sacrifice and need. He said you must make sacrifice and you must need the person. So tomorrow is Valentine. And I guess tomorrow we'll talk about that again. But we could talk about anything, any issue. It doesn't matter. So we want to thank you for being with us today and sticking around with us and introducing your own topics. We highly appreciate it. Sometimes we go back on Facebook and YouTube and make comments on some of the contributions you make. You could always interrupt me, and you could always change the subject matter, or you could suggest subject matter that we could speak about. Thank you very much.